Hello, everybody. This is The Lost Cause bringing you episode 2 with the Charr engineer. In episode 1, we went over making the character and going over the village of Smokestead and the heart at Teller Range, as well as the hero point up there. In this episode, we'll go over some of the next hearts, probably our first vista, and continue on down south. I like to do the outside of the map and then work my way down into the middle. So that's what we'll pretty much be doing for this episode is working our way down to the bottom of the map. As we head over to the next heart, there's a few things I forgot to mention about creating characters. So, if you do not like the look of your character, you can use a total makeover kit in order to change your character. They sell them on the Black Lion auction house. Now that we're in range of the heart, I see that there's an event here. So, we'll go up here and see what this event is about to get karma as well as our coins. As I said before, if you can find an event in a heart that you haven't completed yet, you'll be doing twice the rewards for half the effort. So I would suggest doing events while in hearts. It looks like here we're going to have to take out a couple of the Flame Legion Charr in order to capture this place back, this armory back. So that's what we're going to do. The best mechanic that I found for negating damage in this game is evading. You're constantly having to evade, but as you can see up on the top bar here, it wastes energy, and most classes only have 2 dodges before they run out of energy. So be cognizant of how much energy you have. But of course, the thief class has one of the specializations that you can dodge 3 times. Alright, we've rezzed our buddy here. Now we're going to wait for some more Flame Legion to come in. Then we'll take them out, get this event, and then we'll continue getting the heart. As I was saying before, you can use a total makeover kit to change the look of your character, but you cannot change the race. So if you pick something as the Charr and you decided you didn't want to be a Charr or an Asura or whatever, then you have to recreate a character. But that's okay because you can recreate a character for free. But if you did like the name of your character, that's okay because the character name saves on your account for 24 hours after deleting that character. So no fear if you did like the name but you did not like the race, you can still go through and keep that character's name. I have never played Engineer before, but I really like how this pistol does a whole lot of condition damage. I'm a big fan of condition damage, as power damage is really boring to me, especially with something like an Engineer. And with most of these characters, I feel like I would have killed these guys a whole lot faster. But that could be one of the things with the Engineer and, using condition damage. We'll have to see what happens once we get a weapon that uses power instead of condition damage. We've completed our heart and we've leveled up. After killing these worms, we'll see what kind of prizes we got. Once again, we got +7 on all our primary attributes. We've unlocked the profession skill, which looks like the F1 key, and we've unlocked rally. So if we go into a down state, we can pick ourselves back up. We will soon unlock the offhand weapon skill slot, fine equipment, our personal story at level 10, and get some hero points at level 11. We also got 45 copper and 90 karma from completing the heart as well. We are now within range of the next heart. Here you see a lot of Flame Legion Fire Shaman. They constantly spawn, so you could sit here and farm them to collect your own heart. But we won't be doing that here, as we can go through and show you more of what you can do when you're trying to get progress towards the heart instead of just killing these Flame Legion Shaman, which would be pretty boring actually. That is also one of the good things about Guild Wars 2 is it never seems like there's a real huge grind for just, hey you, come over here and kill these guys 50 times, or hey you, come over here and do this. There's always a variety of things to do in each heart, and you don't even have to do a heart to progress or to do anything at all really. You can just go through and level up however you want. You could level up by exploring, viewing vistas, and just gathering materials and crafting. You actually don't even have to kill anything to get to level 80 if you didn't want to, though I'm pretty sure it'd be hard to explore and view vistas without actually killing anyone. But there is more than just grinding in this game to level up, and the variety is great. So that's probably one of the best things about Guild Wars 2 is there's no actual grind, and you don't even have to actually do the hearts or anything. You don't even have to do the personal story if you don't want to, though you'd probably be missing out on a lot if you did not do the stories, as the cinematics and the voice acting are still pretty good in them. We're almost complete with this heart here, and while we've been playing this game, we still haven't even left the real starting area, as the first 5 to 7 hearts are really the starting area, and you'll see as we pass those and go on that the world will have a lot more to offer, such as gathering and things like that. But I will not be gathering in this playthrough. I'll just gather on another character and things such as that, and I just won't bore y'all with y'all watching me hit a couple of trees and mines and things such as that. This starting area for the Charr is the Plains of Ashford, which Ashford was a small town in the same place that you started in Guild Wars 1, or pretty much the same place as when the searing happened. So it's a pretty good starting area for the game in Guild Wars 2, at least I think, because it has a connection back with Guild Wars 1. I'll use the shield as an offhand just to kind of show that you can have two weapons, the main hand and the offhand. And then maybe later on when a rifle drops, we'll switch to the rifle for that power build that I was talking about. You just can use a power weapon. Now we'll come down here to our very first vista in this playthrough and see what the scenery is all about and see what it shows. That was a very good vista. I always like looking at them because you can really see the artwork, and a lot of them have some good music while you're looking at them. So that's always something I like to hear is the cool soundtrack with the vistas as well as the good art. There you saw the old wall of Ren, I believe, here near the lake. For this heart here, you have to kill some drakes, clean up some tar, the tar pits on the ground, and fix the broken cages, which of course the baby drakes pop out of. And then you can kill them too for that extra heart experience. And then there's a dodge area over here, which the game teaches you how to dodge, I guess, in lesser words. And it tells you about how the energy bar works and how to dodge and things such as that. Here we'll dodge forward, get our chest, dodge back. I'm a fan of using the V key. A lot of people like to double tap in the direction that they're going to dodge, but I myself do not like to do that, as a lot of times I'll accidentally dodge when I don't need to and waste that precious energy when I shouldn't be using it. Like I said before, dodge is probably the best damage mitigator in the game, so you do not want to waste any energy on dodges, especially if you are in combat. We'll continue to go through here and kill some drake and clean up some tar pools and continue to get experience on our heart. Like I said, this is going to be 100% of map completion, because 100% map completion is probably one of the best ways I like to play the game on a lot of alt characters that I have on my other account. I've gotten 100% of the map with all of them just because it's a good accomplishment to get. It gives you that stuff in order to get legendary weapons and things such as that. Now we've completed the heart. We've gotten 52 copper and 105 karma, so we finally broke triple digits in getting karma for hearts, which is a good thing because, like I said, karma will be a very good currency later on in the game. For this heart, we have to go and click on these flame pillars, and then these embers pop out, and we have to kill the embers. That's the main way of getting the heart here. Plus, you can kill some of the flame legion Charr that are wandering around and knock out some turrets. We'll go check out this cave up here. Usually there's a lot of Flame Legion Charr up here, and there's a splendid chest, which seems a little out of place. Maybe back when they were making Guild Wars 2, this may have been like a small mini dungeon for an achievement, and they put the splendid chest there. They just never really made the achievement or the mini dungeon in order to get the chest. They just kind of left the chest there for easy pickings. It seems like the players before me came in here and wiped out all of the Flame Legion Charr, but that's okay. We'll just go and clear out some of those turrets and pillars. We'll equip the rifle to start using some of that power damage and see what goes on with that with the engineer. Like I said, I've really never played the engineer before. I've never really been interested in the class, as well as elementalist and revenant. Those are like the three classes I've never really played, just because I don't know, it just seemed like they had weird mechanics or something like that. Every time I looked on a review for how they use the elementalist or the engineer, it seems like they're pressing a lot of buttons to accomplish a small task. But I mean, all in all, I guess that's okay. It's just something you have to learn and be able to memorize. Hopefully later on in some of the updates, or maybe even now, it's a whole lot easier to, kill things and stuff like that and survive with less button pressing. So far, this rifle seems to be doing a whole lot more damage, and the enemies are going down a lot quicker. I also like how it has the number 3 skill that bleeds them and hits them pretty hard. And number 2 is actually a trap spell that'll just leave them trapped. So I think those are some interesting mechanics. 4 also knocks them back. So it makes the class a bit more fun, I think, with the rifle when you're actually manipulating the enemy a little bit. And maybe it'll help with breaker bars later on when fighting world bosses or champions. This here is one of the few times in Guild Wars 2 where you really don't have anyone to kill or any mechanic to use in order to get you through the heart in a succinct manner. I'm surprised. This is one of the few times that you'll actually see where you can't accomplish the heart because someone's already come through and killed everybody. But I'm pretty sure they'll pop up soon enough, and we'll be able to get through this heart here pretty rapidly once everything respawns. On this account, I do not have gliding or mounts, so on this playthrough, we'll actually be going through on, how to do those things and how to get those mechanics and things like that. So probably once I hit level 80 and accomplish the personal story here in Main Tyria, we might jump over to Path of Fire and get the mount, or we could branch off into getting gliding and things such as that. If y'all want to vote for it later on through the playthroughs, once we get enough people watching, maybe that'll be a good thing to look forward to see which one we do first. But this is definitely to show everyone that you can accomplish stuff in a pretty short amount of time. Like I said, these playthroughs are only going to be, somewhere in between 20 and 30, 35 minutes. So that way we can go through and get these things with a small bit of effort, not time consuming things, and get those mounts, get the glider, and show that casual players can do it. It's just not this massive feat that only hardcore gamers can do, because Guild Wars 2 is really geared toward the casual player for the most part. There are some hardcore aspects to the game though, such as raiding and things such as that. That was the last real heart in the Charr starting area, as it were. So we've completed the first, I believe, 7 hearts in this area in order to start getting through the Plains of Ashford. and we'll continue on out to start fighting the ghosts and things such as that, and move on to the rest of the map here. You'll start to see things such as the trees and the ore veins and stuff, because once you leave the technical starting area, this is the place where you'll find those things and you'll be able to start gathering. But like I said, we'll not be doing this in this playthrough. Even though I do like that aspect of the game, we will not be doing it on this character. Um, if that's something y'all do want me to see, then I can start doing it later on in the playthrough. But as of right now, I will not be doing that. As y'all can see here, I picked up a broken glass bottle and I'm starting to shank this ghost with it. The world does have a lot of these things laying on the ground, which can help you kill things if needed. There are things such as boulders that you can throw on targets to help push down their breaker bar, which you'll see that later on in the game. We'll go over breaker bars and how to break them. But as of right now, we haven't seen anyone with a breaker bar. But it's always cool to see these things laying on the ground and you're able to use them to help help kill or do whatever you need to do within the game. As you saw, I just carved a pumpkin. Yes, it is Halloween. Painette is doing Halloween all month long for the month of October. So I think that's great, because something I've never really been into is the holidays, because they usually don't last that long, and then you have to be on constantly grinding these things, which the holidays are a grind. That's one of the few grinds in Guild Wars 2 is the holidays, because everything in this game is a different currency. And so when you have to grind thousands of candy corn to get the candy corn cob that you need in order to buy things, because it's 1,000 candy corn to make one candy corn cob, then you're having to grind like 2,000 to 3,000 candy corn just to get one or two items. And so that can be very time consuming, and in the long run you're doing it in a short amount of time, so it doesn't seem that bad. But it does take a lot of time out of your day to sit there and grind a couple thousand candy corn to get an outfit, then to grind a couple thousand more candy corn to get a 20 slot bag. So they haven't been a whole lot of fun, but the fact that they've made Halloween a month long does kind of make it better, because you have a whole month now to perhaps grind for those candy corn cobs and, get an outfit or get a miniature. But you'll see, like, some of these things are worth 20, 30, candy corn cobs, which would be 20 or 30,000 candy corn that you're going to have to get. And that's a whole lot of candy corn. So I don't know, that's definitely a grind just to get that. Even in this 1 month, that's a lot of candy corn to get. Pretty much you've stopped everything else and you've been grinding candy corn, or you're going to the cash shop. And it's all about aesthetics. It's not pay to win. It's just trying to look good. Here we're doing an event where we have to get some lodestones from these elementals, which has nothing to do with the heart, but it is an event. And like I said, doing events in this game along the way are, it's a great way to get more money and definitely more karma, because you can't buy karma. There's no way to really get it besides just doing hearts and doing events, or you're getting the flask drops and things like that, and using a booster, you can boost that way. While using a booster, you drink all your flasks that you've been saving up, things such as that. So always stopping by and doing an easy event here or there really, helps you out in the long run, because you don't notice doing it. It's the enjoyment of playing the game, and next thing you know, you got a whole lot of karma and a whole bunch of extra waypoint, change that helps you move along the way, and you really won't notice it in the long run. But well, in the short run, but in the long run, you'll notice all the money that you've been making off of it all. So I would say do events when you can. Plus, sometimes you might learn something cool when you read about the event and things like that because it might have a lot of lore to it or something like that. So always feel free to stop by and do events. Sometimes they're chain events that lead to champions or maybe even legendaries. So it's always good to stop by and
Nice
do those
job.
events along the
We should
way.
be stocked for now. At
Now
least the
we'll
seed cast
continue
won't start
on
barking
and
down our
we'll
ears.
start getting these miscellaneous points of interest that are a little out of the way by themselves and stuff such as that, and getting waypoints, just outlining the outside of the map. Here you might notice this is where we first started the game in our tutorial map called Fury of the Dead. This is exactly where we came through, but in the opposite direction from here toward Duke Barrett's tomb. So we're going back and retracing our steps in order to get some of the stuff that, of course, we didn't get in the tutorial because you couldn't get points of interest and you couldn't get waypoints in that story mode as it was just a tutorial. But here we're actually picking those things up, and it lets you know, it gives you kind of a small bit of history of, hey, I've been here, I've done this before. You might see a lot of that later on in the game and stuff such as that in your personal story. Once again, carved another pumpkin. I haven't carved pumpkins on this account before. This is the first Halloween I've been in on this account since I just made it to make these playthroughs and stuff like that. I do have another character, Human Guardian, that I'm leveling up, but I'm not filming him. He's going to be that gathering and crafting character that I was talking to you about. I'll probably still have crafting professions on this character, but I will not be gathering unless y'all want to see me gather on these playthroughs. But usually I just think gathering is really boring, and I'll be making the Vista videos and some of the jumping puzzle videos on that other character because it would be a little bit harder to film all that while I'm also doing a let's play and explaining things. So I probably won't be doing a whole lot of videos from this account besides just, well, this character besides the Let's Plays. And then maybe later on I'll come back and I'll film stuff if needed for vistas or something that I didn't get. But since we're getting 100% of the map with this guy, I don't think there's any reason why we would need to. Because my other guy will get 100% as well. Because you'll see, like, 100% of the map with all the hearts and all the events that we were doing along the way with two characters. I mean, we'll probably have close to 1,000,000 karma by the time both of them get through, which is like most people never get to 1,000,000 karma, but I don't know why, because we're literally just playing the game and completing 100% of the map, and with two characters we'll be close to 1,000,000 karma, which is more than enough to make some legendary weapons and to buy some cool outfits. So there should be no issues in any of that stuff, and that's what this is here to do, is to prove to the casual gamer that you can do it and that anyone can do it, just not hardcore players. Once again, we're lucky enough to be around another random event, and here we'll be breaking the morale of the harpies by killing them and protecting these mortars. And you know, it's a pretty cool event, I guess. You're sitting here killing some flying harpies. It's some good artwork on these enemies and stuff such as that, and you get to see some cool mechanics with the NPCs shooting mortars and things such as that. So I mean, it's a good chance to get that karma and that extra coin. And as you do events, you can get one of 3 medals. You can get the bronze medal, which means you had a little bit of participation. The silver medal, which means you participated, but you weren't at like the maximum participation level. And then of course there's the gold participation medal, which shows you had you were up there with a lot of participation. And as you go through with bronze, silver, and gold, you'll get more coin and karma respectively. So You get nothing for none, you get a little bit for bronze, you get more with silver, and you get a lot more with gold. So try to participate in events and try to get them done as quick as possible, usually, just to collect that extra stuff and carry on with whatever you were wanting to do with the rest of your game experience. This should look familiar to y'all. We are now going back down into Duke Beriden's tomb to get the point of interest down here. Of course, Duke Beriden was turned into a ghost with the foe fire unleashed by King Adalburn back in the day when they had the searing, when the Charr took over this area. So that's why the vengeful ghosts are here, and they do not like Charr. It is because the Charr took this forcefully with the searing, and King Adalburn unleashed foe fire, turning them into ghosts. Basically, wrecking them and keeping the Charr here, fighting ghosts forever. Not a very smart plan, but a plan nevertheless. As you can see here, I'm starting to use my belt utility spell, my F1 spell, which gives me regeneration, swiftness, and protection to help me against some of these veteran enemies. I'm very undergeared to the area because I'm still wearing my armor that I've had since the beginning. I've only picked up like a pair of boots and a pair of gloves, so I'm having to use some utility spells and the healing spell, and basically dodging around in order to avoid being killed by, you know, the veterans and their minions. Something you can see me doing right here with projectile weapons, you can line up the enemies so that if your bullets pass through one enemy and into the next enemy, it damages them both. That way you're getting, you know, more damage through one shot instead of just having them scattered. Trying to be lined up with them and hitting multiple foes with one shot is a lot more beneficial and economic for you than sitting around there dodging between multiple foes in different areas, and your one shot doesn't damage multiple enemies, it just damages one. So be cognizant of that, and if you can, line them up so that you can do more damage per shot. Alright, we've got the point of interest. There's no need to just stick around and kill every enemy in this cave now. We'll just get out of here and try to avoid further combat in order to carry on with the rest of our map completion in this area. And yeah, see what else we can do. Something about the belt utility skills, F1, 2, 3, and 4 skills that the engineer will get, is that these skills change with your 6, 7, 8, 9, and 0 skill sets. So depending on what you have equipped will change your F1 through 4 or 5 keys, and it'll somehow work with the 6 through 0 keys skills that you have. So I have a potion now for my healing skill, so my F1 kind of does the same thing, except for it's an AoE drop instead of just a me drop. So you'll see throughout this playthrough that we might be getting some good stuff like that. Granted, I'm not 100% sure on all the engineer skills and the best builds for this guy, so bear with me as I'm learning this stuff. Maybe y'all can tell me some good skills and good setups for engineer, but as of right now, we'll just be going with whatever seems cool and whatever I see on some sort of build. But as I'm leveling up, I don't think I'll need to be an expert at builds while leveling. Probably just when we get to level 80, I'll try to focus on a certain build and gear myself up for that, not particularly while leveling up, because as you'll see, we'll start leveling up quick. I have no XP bonuses or anything, but you'll see us start leveling. I'll probably start using some potions or food and stuff to start leveling up a little bit faster to get more experience a little later on in these playthroughs. But right now, I'm really not a whole lot interested in that at the moment. But yeah, just bear with me with that, and you'll see how they correspond. And later on playthrough episodes of the F1 skill changes based on the corresponding skill set on the bottom of the bar. Once again, another beautiful vista. It really makes it look like fall and feel like fall in this area. So I thought that was a really good vista. We leveled up. We got gathering tools. So this is where you would start gathering your wood, your ore, and your food. But like I said, you're not going to be seeing me do a whole lot of that. I might just do it once or twice to show how it's done. But honestly, yeah, that's about it. I'm not going to show y'all how to farm around and stuff on the playthroughs. Here we are entering another hard area where there are Ascalon artifacts that you can pick up and kill ghosts with and things like that. Usually this waypoint up here is contested because there's always ghosts in here just wiping out the tents. Like, it's an overwhelming force usually, so it's pretty rare to see the tents up like they are right now. This orange circle with a star in it over this guy's head means that he has an event that he wants to start, and you have to talk to him to initiate it, which this one's pretty good, I think. Let's go talk to him and see what he wants us to do.
Sneak up and assassinate our Charr possible. They camouflage fox. So we set and trigger the explosives one at a time. Move silent, hit the targets, and meet back at camp. Don't get distracted. Our targets are the Decimus stones. If we destroy them, we weaken the ghosts.
Looking for volunteers. We're embarking on a mission to destroy the
So it sounds like we have to follow these guys. They have some engineers in here that'll go through and drop some charges on these things called the Decimus stones and blow them up, and we just have to go around and protect them. So I'm sure there's going to be some ghosts along the way that are going to try to kill us as we're sending this group in to blow up these stones. This event seems like a pretty cool event. It's taking us back here in this cave area that seems like it's off the beaten path. So it really seems like we're going into an area that is not traveled very often, which I think is pretty cool. Going into the little side parts of the map, getting into the nooks and crannies of everything, seeing enemies that probably haven't been killed in a while, or something like that. And plus we're doing an event, so there's a little bit of a story and purpose to it. So I think it's pretty fun to go through and do these things. Not to mention more enemies pop up, and it's fun to get that XP and stuff. I mean, we're playing the game to play the game, so let's play the game, right? They seem to have a lot of elementalist casting, AoE and stuff around here, so pretty much just walk or dodge out of the way of it and then start shooting them. Seems pretty simple and straightforward.
That's one down.
The ghosts still bleed for some reason, so I mean, I guess that's good. I mean, I do give bleeding damage, so I'm not going to complain too much about ghosts that bleed if I make them bleed. So I guess it's a good thing. Just got the heart, 60 copper, 120 karma, so that's a good thing. And I know this event will give us some copper and karma as well, and so we're just turning it from 120 karma to something more, and 60 copper to something more. So we'll see what happens, but it's always good to come in here and see these fun events, and maybe we'll learn a little bit of lore or something with it as well. Now we'll go through here and we'll head toward the second stone, and get that charge placed and see what happens around here. Probably looks like it's going to be more AoE and more, ghosts that pop up and try to take us out. Well, there's another pumpkin. I'll carve that while I'm waiting for the next bit of enemies to pop up or for them to lay the next charge. So, seeing these little things during the holiday seasons is fun, and carving the pumpkins will hopefully get me closer to an achievement. Maybe I can get an achievement while this holiday event's going on, my first holiday achievement. But we'll see. And let's carry on further into this cave. The rifle does seem to be doing a lot more damage, and the skills seem to be a little bit more unique, so that makes the rifle a little bit more fun. But I definitely like the action skills of the pistol more. Being able to run around, do the triple shot, things like that, zapping multiple enemies. Even the shield seemed pretty cool, where I could reflect projectiles and things like that. So they both have their pros and cons so far. So needless to say, I'm pretty satisfied with how both the weapons are working, and I'm sure once I'm geared toward the specific weapons that I'll be using, they'll be a lot more effective. I'll head back here further into the cave. I really haven't been back here in a long time, so it'll be fun to see what's back here still or what isn't back here. But I think there's gonna be something cool back here. Maybe a veteran, or maybe a chest, or who knows what could be back here. So maybe I'll even get an achievement. I can't remember. So it's always fun to go back here and explore these things. I definitely see a mine back here on the mini map. So I'm not looking to go back here and mine, but it'll be fun to see what's going on back here and explore a little bit. It does look like there's a chest and a veteran back here with all of his cronies, so it'll be cool to open up this chest and see what's in it, and see how the engineer fares against the veteran now and his cronies with a little bit better gear and this rifle, to see how things go. As of right now, I'm fighting tooth and nail, so I'm just hanging on. I haven't been downed yet, but the veteran's giving me a run for my money, and his cronies are definitely giving me a run. Definitely having a hard time just taking them down and being able to do massive amounts of damage. But like I said, my gear isn't too great. I just got some gloves and pants and stuff, so nothing major. But I am surviving as the engineer, so it seems like the class is pretty good at surviving. I was just down for a second there, but then I killed one of the cronies and was able to get back up. So didn't really get to check the downed state skills. But like I said, that just goes to prove that the engineer is pretty good, even when he's fighting multiple enemies and under-geared. I did just turn level 10. I got my notice for my personal story there, and as you can see, it just popped up in the top right of the screen. So that'll be part of our next episode, is going through this first part of the personal story, getting some pretty good gear with it hopefully, and exploring more of the map. So let's just get out of this cave, and then once we get out of here, we can probably call it a day for episode 2. I believe I probably ran over time, definitely a lot more time than I wanted to put into this episode, but coming back here into doing this event and finding this splendid chest was a lot of fun, and so I think it was well worth it, especially for just the beginning of the game and testing out the mechanics of the engineer with the rifle, because like I said, I've never played him. So hopefully this gives y'all a decent look at how the engineer is. Because like I said, it's one of the least played classes in the game. I believe the only class that's played less than the engineer is the Revenant. And the Revenant was made with the Path of Fire update. It didn't exist before that. So there was a whole lot of game before the Revenant was made. So I would give the Revenant an excuse for having less players than the engineer. So it's just a really misunderstood class, I believe. Even I've really never been interested in playing it, but I'm having a lot of fun with them so far. But everything's fun in the beginning, so let's finish this event right here, which will most likely fail because I believe this is the event that always fails. And then once we're done with this, we'll just call it a day, and I'll see y'all again in Let's Play episode 3.
At ease. Give me a report. For Ash Legion. At ease. For Ash Legion.
Well, that was it. We failed the event, but thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see y'all next time on our Let's Play Engineer. Thanks for watching.